Meantime, cloud security provider CyberArk, despite a strong quarter, been ending the day flat. The company beating estimates on the top and bottom lines, providing Q2 guidance that was mostly above expectations. This comes as CyberArk is shifting its business model to a subscription basis. Joining us now in a CNBC exclusive is CyberArk CEO Matt Cohen. Matt, it's great to have you back on the show. Let's start right there. The fact that you came in with better than expected results, even as you're shifting that business model and how you report against it, the better than expected guidance, what does it say about the company and perhaps about the demand for cybersecurity writ large, despite this macroeconomic uncertainty we've been talking about?
Yeah, I think when we look out and we talk with our customers, we see this heightened threat environment that's forcing organizations to fundamentally alter their cybersecurity strategies and lean in to a particular part of cybersecurity that's called identity security. And that's really where CyberArk plays. It's the ability to be able to make sure that human and machine identities have the right level of controls in place to actually secure the most privileged, most important information and systems. And we see with our customers today that identity security is really the imperative, the focus point of large-scale cybersecurity programs, and it keeps us with a strong demand and a strong, durable growth. We grew revenue and ARR by more than 30% once again. We've got more than 20% free cash flow margins, and ultimately, it's helping to drive a long-term vision of growth for CyberArk.
Yeah, and of course, the identity security has been a big bet for you. 2 acquisitions to help build out those offerings as well. When we talk about non-human versus human, and certain agentic AI has been getting a lot of attention in this, but what are you seeing in terms of those security threats and how you need to counter them for your customers, whether it is human or non-human?
Yeah, across the board, whether it's human or non-human, or as you mentioned, the kind of rising type of identities around AI, what we see is the need to be able to offer dynamic privilege controls. And what that really means is to be able to elevate the level of controls that any identity has on it based upon risk, based upon context, and based upon the types of targets that it's accessing. So you or I might look like a normal workforce user from day to day, but if we access certain systems with certain elevated entitlements or privileges, we need an extra layer of security placed on to protect our access when we're going towards those targets. The same thing applies on the machine side or the non-human side, and that becomes the underpinning, if you will, of the future of identity security.
Matt, first question you got on the call, I believe, was about multi-product sales, and there's this drive out there I've been hearing about in enterprise software to consolidate vendors. There's so much credit given to CrowdStrike, to Zscaler, like this platform approach to cybersecurity. I wonder what your continuing strategy is to make sure that as that consolidation happens, you're one that benefits.
It's a really fascinating point there, because what we see is CISOs, the chief security officers, overwhelmed by the sheer number of cybersecurity tools. You know, at a typical enterprise, they can have 50, 100, 150 individual cybersecurity tools that they're trying to manage. So this idea of consolidation or platformization is really about driving value across the various identities, but also the idea of lessening the burden on the CISOs and the security teams that are increasingly overwhelmed. And what we see, and what we have these conversations with our executive suites and our customers, is that they want to consolidate down to a few platforms. There's not going to be one platform for everything in cybersecurity, but there is kind of consolidation around endpoint, around cloud, around modern day firewalls, and around identity security. And for our space, we see that happening and driving a big piece of our results as customers want to adopt more and more of our solutions, all sitting on an integrated, unified platform.